And we are live.
Hey everybody, welcome. It's probably confusing because it's Friday night, not Monday night. Well, we're gonna do a live stream tonight, so hopefully you can join us. Hopefully you've made it over to the show, and we're happy to have you here Friday night. So last Monday we had to cancel due to a few different complications. Sam wasn't able to make it here. I had things going on. We are both very busy and very tired. We both had very busy weekends. It just yeah, it just didn't work out. So we apologize to you guys for holding you out on last Monday, and not doing the show. However, that's why we're here now, because we both realized this Monday coming is 4th of July. You guys are going to be barbecuing, hanging with family, lighting fireworks. I know some of your hardcore monster fans are like, I would be there at that show. I know. We appreciate that. But seems like a bad Monday to do it. So here we are Friday. We're going to do it tonight. We have a special jam session for you guys, and artist share, questions, the whole 9 yards. We're going to lengthen the show just a little bit longer tonight for you guys as well. And what else?
Happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day. If you're in Canada,
Yep.
Happy Canada Day. I didn't know that. And what else we got here? It's a special artist share I'm looking forward to. And the other thing is, so next Monday, this coming Monday, we won't be live. Just mark that down on your calendars or somewhere. We won't be on, but we will catch you next Monday, which is, what's the date of next Monday?
The Monday after the 1st or 4th?
After the 4th. What's that Monday?
The 11th.
The 11th. So the 11th would be the next live stream. So we're just going to do a special one tonight. And to start off with, I guess we'll just see who's with us. Who do we got, Sam?
So far in the chat right now, we've got Mad Makes returning from last week, along with Neo Kazama returning from last week as well. I thought I saw John Eubank earlier here in the chat, but that might have actually been a holdover from this last Monday when everybody was expecting us to go live and it just didn't happen. So
yeah, I know John just hit me up, so he should be in there. Cool.
And then we also have Neil Leffler, Alice Wright, Jason Giaconetti, Kirk Durfee, Gore Mega, which is a bitchin' name.
Gore Mega,
Yep.
rad.
Kevin Young, and one other person, Magneto Creations, Manuel Silva,
Awesome.
joining us again.
Thank you.
Also have Wrecked by McGregor, which is like, what, everybody he went up against besides the Russian fellow, and who was the other guy? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah. We got more Jesse Aarons joining us right now. Yeah, welcome everybody.
Awesome. Welcome, guys. Welcome. And thank you for joining in. Sorry for all the confusion. Apologize. It's been all scrambled, and I didn't even get a chance to really advertise this today. I've been busy at work all day getting things done. So my apologies to you guys for the last minute notice. Okay, so tonight what I'm going to be doing is kind of just this past weekend I had a class that a lot of you guys are aware of. On June 25th, I hosted a painting class, Werewolf versus Vampire. So tonight, I'm just finishing off those pieces and playing around with them. You know, it could be anything that I'm doing. It could be finishing techniques. It could be, I'm probably going to do more weathering and more things on these and adjustments and whatever I'm not happy with. So that's what tonight's stream is. It's going to be more painting tonight and on these new resin busts. By the way, a lot of people have been asking, am I offering these as a set or individuals or whatever? Yes. The answer is yes. They are for sale, casted, which I'll show you later in the stream. And so if you're interested in purchasing a set or even just one of them or one or the other, whatever, they are available. They're going to be $70 plus shipping. You can get the set for, I think, $140 plus shipping, and you save a little shipping if you get it in a set because you get both shipped for the same price as it costs to ship one. It's the same basically. So you save a little bit there. Anyway, so these are them, and I still have some stuff to do on the teeth and the skin and different things like that, and overall just some fun. So we're gonna get right into that tonight. 7 o'clock artist share, as usual. and questions, and we'll see where we go from there. So there you have it. All right. And we'll talk about crazy stories or whatever else comes to mind. I don't know. We'll see. Whatever we can fit in. So I've got my airbrush set up here. I've got paints, got everything going. And we are going to get jamming here. And hopefully you guys are joining us on your stuff as well. What's going on, little man? What's going on? What you want? What you want? Come on. You want to say hi to everybody?
Go.
Look right there and go, what's up, everyone? I'm
What's
Avon.
up? Yeah, even love here.
This
back
is my
in the
son.
house, bro.
Yeah, back in the house. Come on a little bit over here. There you go. There, you're in the picture. This is my boy, Avon. Hardcore skater. Hardcore Slipknot fan.
Yeah, man. Metal.
Metal.
Yeah, man.
What you doing? Origami?
Yeah, and we're gonna go to some stores and stuff.
Cool.
And just to tell everybody, bro, on the day, 3 days, all right. I'm actually hosting a concert at Dos Vientos Marketplace. Anybody want
Say
to come?
what?
Yeah, we're doing it. Me and my friend, we're going over there. All right.
You are?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
you're
we're
doing a
doing
concert.
it.
Okay.
We're doing a concert there, so
Wow.
stay tuned, man.
Jeez.
Show up if you're local.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're going to be doing your
Yeah.
Cannibal Corpse voice singing?
Yeah, dude, we're
Oh,
doing that.
no.
for
He's
sure.
going to corpse grind it.
Show.
Uh-oh. Look out, people.
Yep. All right, bye, guys.
All right, later, buddy. Okay, so after that special announcement, apparently my son does concerts now. Okay, so we're gonna jump into this goodness. I think I'm gonna start with the vampire because I feel like he needs more work than the werewolf at this point. I've just got these teeth held in with some gummy, tacky stuff. I think the first thing this bad boy needs is a little overspray to tone that pink down. It's pretty pinky looking, and I don't want him to remain that way. So there's a lot of tricks you can do when you do something and you're going for it and you just make it up. Again, I was just painting along with the class and showing them, how to do a pale vampire thing. But, I feel it got a little on the pink side. So, and this is a good stream because those class members that took the class can take it from here. This will be a little extra for them as well, and for you guys, of course. But I want to tone the pink down. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little olive green or something like that and thin it way down so it's super thin. I'm kind of going to overspray just to kind of tone it down and subtle some things down, especially the pinks. So that's what we're doing. And
Hey, really quick, we just got a comment from Mad Makes.
yeah,
He says, I bought the Rick Baker Metamorphosis books on your recommendation, which I think was last show. You showed that off?
yeah.
And he says, I couldn't be happier. Thanks for the rec. Oh, yeah.
Rad. Those books are insane. Like, anyone that doesn't own the Rick Baker books, go to Amazon right now and buy them. Well, don't go during the stream. Go after the stream. Or open up a separate window and go. But yeah, Rick Baker Metamorphosis books. Oh, man. Treasure.
It's the 2 set, right?
2 sets. It's 2 thick books of Rick Baker's career, all in these books. So you can't go wrong. And you're supporting Rick. So, yeah, you got to. Yes. So I'm going to grab I have this brownish green, olive green, sort of brown tone here. I know you guys may not have this exact color. You can kind of use, anything like that to tone down. You can use antelope brown. I might even add a little bit of this. Antelope brown is a good color. Very green. Let's see here. A dash of that in there, won't hurt. So these are just acrylic paints, nothing special. And like I said, I'm gonna water these down quite a bit. I'm gonna thin them down quite a bit, and then I'm gonna put alcohol in here. This is 99% alcohol that I'm squirting into this cup here. And I'm making like an overspray. I don't want to get alcohol on my zombie cup. Turkey Merc. You guys aren't familiar, you look up Turkey Merc on Instagram, man. Makes the best mugs ever. Those things are sick. Sick, bro. Okay. So I've got alcohol in there. Got my airbrush cranking. We've got a thin batch of, and it's probably not even thin enough. So what I'm gonna do, instead of thinning the whole batch, I'm gonna dump a little out into my cup, and what's left over in the airbrush, I'm gonna thin it further, because what I'm looking for is like a super thin wash that I can airbrush and overspray very, very thinly. Because when it goes on here, it's very yellow, green, brown sort of thing. And and what I want to do is just tone down everything. So I'm going to stay back a bit from the piece. You know, I'm not going to get super close up on the piece. And the reason I'm doing this is because the green in it will kind of kill some of the red. It'll kill a little bit of the pink red and sort of tone it back a bit. And it'll give the skin a little yellow color too, which is fine. But you don't want to overdo it. It's gonna get it where it's. And that's why I'm staying pretty far back, so I don't overdo it on accident. Hitting around the edge. And that already significantly toned a lot of that pinky color out of there. Kind of took it back a bit, which is nice. Looking a little too much pink. Still got a lot in there, so see what else we can do. You able to see that good?
Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because it's sitting face up.
Face up,
Yeah. I'll try to, every now and again, I'll try to hold it up like this. So these are the two. You know, I gotta do their teeth and stuff as well. Work on their teeth. But, yeah. So for now, I want to get this vampire cranking. So I'm just going to jam away. I'll explain what I'm doing, and you guys watch and enjoy. Right now I'm grabbing like a blue, gray blue, and some dioxine purple.
Also, let us know if you're working on anything right now.
Definitely let us know.
What projects are you guys up to? Or if you let us know last week, what's the status of the current ones, etc.
Yeah, hit us up. Let us know what you guys are doing. Alright. I'm just mixing up this kind of bluish purple tone here. And what I'm going to do with this is go into specific spots. Some of the deep areas. Give it a little more modeling and veining as well. But right now I'm just shadowing some stuff. Sinking a few things in. You can also get where these veins cross over. Maybe the tip of the ear a bit. A little bit of that purple. Alright, now I'm going to get sort of like a tighter sort of spray and get closer. And I'm going to start adding some under the skin kind of veining in this real purple blue tone, just like laying under the skin surface. Just to make them creepier, you know, make the skin have this more translucency and a creepier vibe. So hopefully you guys can see all that purple veiny stuff going on. Hit his lips a little bit. So you see how I like pulled away and oversprayed the lips lightly, just to shift, you know. And then if you got to get in anything tight, you get in closer and then pull back. Let less paint out. So don't pull back as much on that trigger, the airbrush trigger. You can get in and get tighter stuff going on. Just shading in between the neck muscles a bit, or the neck tendons. Shade down around the base of this guy a little bit. Now I'm gonna go for the back of the head a little here, because make sure I get the veining everywhere. Also, I sell copies of these guys painted, so if you want a set painted, hit me up. Just message me privately, and we can talk about that, because I do offer fully painted copies of these. And Sam reminded me we are getting very close to our goal of 1,000 subscribers.
We are. I think it's what, 977, 976 right now?
Yeah, 976. Wow. So we're getting close, man, to that giveaway. So if you know anyone that would like this stream, or you think would like this stream, hit them up. Tell them to come join up. Subscribe to the channel. Help us out, we would appreciate it. And we'll get that much closer to that 1,000 subscriber goal. How many shows have we done?
This is now episode 14.
14? This is episode 14. Not bad. We're at almost 1,000, so that's good. I've heard a lot of people saying they really enjoyed the episode where I did the armor and the trap jaw looking dude that I hate calling trap jaw.
Oh, the rusting effects and the armor.
Yeah, where'd that guy go? Yeah, everyone really enjoyed, I guess, the jawness and the armor technique. So yeah, so maybe we'll swing back around on him too at some point. So that's good. Appreciate everybody letting us know. And the jaw, I think the jaw one is still our top stream, right? Yeah.
Yep.
That's the topper right there. It's the best one so far. I'm just going to hit the inside of this mouth a little bit too.
Oh, we got the Shiplet brothers joining us too.
Rad. What's up, Shiplet brothers?
They just posted the link to this stream in their forum.
Nice. Thank you guys. Jared, Brandon, thank you so much. You guys rule. Love you. Hope to see you guys at a show next year or something. Monster Palooza maybe or something like that. If you guys don't know who the Shiplet brothers are, they have an awesome forum on Facebook under their name, Shiplet Brothers Sculpting Forum. You have to, if you're a sculptor of any kind, digital, traditional, whatever, you should join up on that forum. Just check out their new book. Check out their art for sale. They sell model kits. They have a new Creature from the Black Lagoon model kit that just hit the market. Really, really beautiful piece. You guys should check that out. And a good buddy of mine, Steve West, molded and cast that for them, and it turned out really nice. So make sure you give the Shiplet brothers some love. Love from the Love Man. We appreciate it, man. Appreciate the support. Awesome. Speaking of sculpting, we'll be getting back to that next Monday on the 11th. The next stream, we'll be sculpting again. So we'll take a little break from the painting, come up with something cool. Might do something on just concept busts, like how to do little concepts or something. Might be a fun one. We'll figure it out. So yeah, I'm just veining away, man, veining away, making them all veiny. Now I know that down the road, I'm going to do the sea sponge technique I've shared with you guys. So because I know that, that's why I'm pushing some of these colors to be a little further and darker and deeper than maybe normal, just because when I do that technique, it's going to kind of tone down things and stuff. So I want to make sure that that you know I'm when I'm toning things down, it's kind of at the right level that I'm looking for. So I'll push things a little darker and more theatrical than normal. And what I mean by normal is just like, I won't, if I was just painting it and not going to do that trick, then I would, pull back a little. That trick is a nice one because it really just tones everything down a bit. What else do we got here? Our drink. Seeing what I want to do next. I like the black eyes, but I'm almost thinking he needs white eyes, like kind of dead, whitish, yellow, no pupils or something, like blind or something like that. I think I want to push darker around the eyes a little bit. This might work. Put a little translucent brown in here. We'll go around the eye. And then when I clean out my airbrush, I'm using just water and then following up with alcohol. And that just clears it out. And then a lot of times I'll come back with a little more water just to make sure there's no alcohol left over in there. Flush it out a little bit more. I think too we need to pinken out these gums a little. These gums are a little too crazy as well, so I think this flesh here might do the trick. And I'll do an overspray of this. Same idea as how we tone the bust down. Water, alcohol trick. So what the alcohol does, what the water does, first of all, is the water thins the paint normally without any hiccups, without any problems, in case you're wondering. So the water thins it out, the paint more, because these are airbrushable paints, but they still have a good amount of pigment. So what I'm doing is, when I put it in there, I'm putting water to thin it further, And then what I'm doing is pushing it so thin that I'm allowing it to take on alcohol without any issues. So once I have it thin to a certain point, I put alcohol in. That thins it even further. And then what the alcohol does is when it hits the layer, when it hits the piece that you're spraying, it dries the paint in that layer instantly. So you can sit there and build layer upon layer, very thin layers over top of one another. So that's what the alcohol is doing. So for example, right now I can take these gums and teeth and overspray them, and this paint that's going on isn't going to sit on there wet. It's going to dry up. And also what I'm doing is sort of muting out the pinks to be a little more fleshy. Now you have to be careful because this technique can get chalky. It can look chalky. So you don't want to overdo it too much. And you can adjust the chalkiness too, but you got to go back and add some red or something. So that's a little overspray there. I'll do the same here. And again, I'm looking to tone down some of the dark pink, some of the crazy pink that the gums have right now. Make them more realistic, a little more fleshy looking, less pinky. So it's just a little overspray trick. And you know, you can, I've got this tacky gum stuff so I can set these in and look at them, see how they look. Get a sense of how everything's looking. Looking pissed off and angry, that's for sure. I can take them out, you know, and then keep painting with no problem. So this is just tacky gum stuff. You can buy it at, you know, your local craft store or something. It's good. Comes in handy. All right. So I think I want to take some of this dioxazine purple by itself. Thin it out. Now this dioxazine purple is like a transparent color, so it doesn't need as much water. I can add alcohol quicker, a lot quicker to it because it's a transparent color. So sometimes you'll have these colors that, like these in the bottle, that are transparent. Sometimes they'll say transparent on them or opaque. If they say transparent, that means they're thinner already, so you don't need to add as much water to them. Sometimes no water at all. You can try, but typically just a little bit of water, and then you can add your alcohol sooner. This is a very dark purple. It hit the edge of this lip a little bit. I'm gonna go around these eyes. Whoa! Michael Myers is calling us. What does he want?
That was a FaceTime. I think it was a group FaceTime.
Whoa, that would be my son's friends, and I'm going to turn that off so we don't have that again. Or should we live stream FaceTime with 9-year-olds? Nah, that sounds bad. All of that sounds bad.
I'm like, that'd be funny, but then I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Nope, we're not going to do that. see. Whoa. Oh, shit. All right. That's why we're not streaming with 9-year-olds, because I would have just said, oh, shit. I'd have been in trouble with all the moms and dads. And there they call again. Yeah, they're gonna psycho call me. By the way, 9-year-olds when 9-year-olds get a hold of parents' phones and they do this FaceTime group chat because they're out of school now and they're missing one another, they kind of tend to do this psycho call where they just call and call and call and call until someone answers. And it's a battle. Am I gonna give in? Or, before I find my son and just say, stop calling. No. Anyway. It's funny. I'm sorry, you have reached a number that is no longer in service.
Is this still the purple that you're working with right now?
So I switched to just dioxine purple. So yeah, it is a purple, so. And I'm trying to darken some stuff up. We'll have to get into this now too, the backside. We'll have to get in there with black eventually, but for now I'll just do this. Alright. We don't get too carried away with purple either, otherwise we'll get a purple vampire.
Spooky Thread says their son used to do the same thing.
Yep. It's going around, man. They've reached that age. Phone and...
Next live stream, according to Jason Giaconetti, parenting tips with Casey.
Yeah, right? Oh, man, that'd be funny. There's what not to do.
We also have a comment from Wrecked by McGregor. They say, just want to say, watching your airbrushing videos has made me a way better painter.
Awesome.
Learning about thinning the paints and putting several layers really makes a huge difference in making realistic skin.
Awesome. Yeah. It can definitely help. That's great. I'm glad it's helping you. Appreciate the comments. Thank you for watching the stream and hanging with us and for checking out my videos. That's great news. That's what it's all about.
I just remembered, Nate Diaz is the name I was thinking of.
For
One of the guys McGregor fought.
oh, UFC. Yeah. Dude, I just saw like a rerun of that fight. Yeah. Is that the one where McGregor won?
I
Or
forget.
did
They
Diaz
did
win?
multiple fights, right? Was it
Yeah.
2 or 3?
Yeah, something like that. This weekend is Adesanya, man.
Anasanya?
Yeah. Adesanya, Izzy, right? He's fighting.
Mm-hmm.
He's fighting some ripped dude, man. That guy looks like no joke. What's his name? Corey, something. I'm gonna mess it up.
I haven't been keeping up with UFC much recently.
There's some good fights this weekend, man. Even the co-main event is Volkanovski versus. It's the third match between the two. It's gonna be like a main event in itself. And yeah, there's some good fights this weekend. So you guys are UFC fans are following, man. This weekend is definitely a buyer, I think. Some good ones. There's been some great free ones too, man.
Jared Cannonier says Neo Kazama.
Yeah, Jared Cannonier. Cannonier. I knew it was something, but it's Cannonier. That guy's a beast. I mean, that guy is a beast. He's ripped. You do not want to get caught with a punch by that guy.
Never.
No. But that's the trick, right? Can he get in and catch Izzy with anything? That's the thing. That's the game right there. Because nobody can seem to catch that guy or touch that guy.
That's why I like watching undercard matches, because those guys, they just bum rush and they just don't give a crap. They just fight.
And they want to make a statement, so they take more risks than the big guys. Yeah, no, for sure. So now I'm taking a darkened brown, just kind of a burnt umber with some black in it, and I'm just kind of This will also, by the way, kill any pink or red that you don't want. I mean, really quickly, by the way, so be careful. So because I had like dark purple in those nostrils, and then I go in with this really dark brown, it looks like almost black, but it's not black. And that's a way to get some really dark, bless you, man. That's a way to get some really dark stuff in there. Lightly overspraying. But anyway, that's a way to get some dark stuff in there and have it read nice and dark in the nostrils there. Yeah, Cannoneer, and then it's Volkanovski. Is that how you say it?
I think
I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Volkanovski or something like that. He's fighting. He's that bald Australian dude or whatever. He's a badass. He's fighting. I forget, dude. They're having a Holloway, Max Holloway, right? I think that's it. I can't believe I'm remembering those names. Anyway, Max Holloway, who they've had 2 fights already, which I believe Volkanovski won both. So I don't think there's too much hope for Max Holloway beating him. But who knows? We'll see. Never know. Anything can happen, man. It's the UFC. So I'm just throwing some of this little bits of brown color, it's almost like a sepia color I've mixed up, like a custom. Throwing a little bit of that. Over some of this stuff. And actually, I want to do to be honest, I want to get an even darker version of this. So what I think I'm going to do is, where's my black? That's blood, that's brown, black. Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? Body bag black. I think I'm going to take some black. And I'm going to thin it a little bit. Water alcohol. I'm going to add a little bit of this brown to it. Now that I have it thinned. That had alcohol in it. Now this has it. So but I'm looking for something darker. Make a bigger statement. And now what I'm going to do is a little edging trick on these ears here. Just going to follow the edges. a little tricky to see. Sorry, guys. Just going around the ear with a dark edging. I'll go underneath so I can soften it out a little bit. Kind of blend it. So you can see the difference. That's one ear, and then this is how the ear was looking. Now that's the difference. So I think we'll do the nose too. I'm gonna do this other ear real quick. Alrighty, getting close. Closer. Get really dark around those eyes. I want to get those eyes hanging white. I'm gonna hit the back of the throat with this dark color too. Just give the illusion of that it's dark and deep in the back side of the mouth there. so that when I put those teeth in, it looks like it goes, you know, it's pretty dark in the back of the mouth there. You won't see too much of it, but you'll see a little bit. So here's how we're looking so far. More bat-like. All right. Time do we got? 6:55. So, what are we doing? So I think, oh, you know what? I'm gonna hit really quick while I got this color. I'm just gonna darken this rim just one more notch. Better. Okie doke. I'm gonna clear out my gun, wash the color out, you know, make sure that I get that cleaned out. Yeah, boy. Vampire it up. All right. So I think we should probably jump into artist share, yeah? All right. So we'll break away for a minute, jump into our artist share, and then we'll come back to these lovely beasts and work on them some more. Alrighty, let me move. I'm gonna move some paints out of the way so I don't spill them all over the damn place. Because I usually will do that. That would be typical. Get some paper towel down here. Okay, so guys, tonight's artist share was one that I was really wanting to do last Monday's show because specifically last Monday would have been Dick Smith's 100th birthday. Unfortunately, Dick passed away a number of years ago. We lost him, you know, he's very old and he was around for a very long time. And if any of you know who Dick Smith is or was, or for those of you that don't know who Dick Smith is or was, he was a makeup artist for many decades who not only inspired the likes of Rick Baker and everybody else to come along that is a makeup artist, Greg Canham, Rick Baker, Stan Winston, Steve Johnson, you know, I can name them all. Everyone, every single one of in the makeup industry, in some way or another, owes a debt of gratitude to Dick Smith because of the work he's done, but more importantly, because of the type of person that he was. He was very much into sharing his knowledge with others and very much into not withholding any secrets and passing that knowledge along to those, specifically those who wanted to learn and showed that they want to learn. As such, he worked many years comprising this course that you could take called the Dick Smith course, and which just had tons and tons of knowledge of how to do practical effects, how to do makeup effects, how to do anything from basics on up to advanced stuff, you know, even into animatronics. There's even sections in the book of how to do transformation stuff that was used for things like American Werewolf in London, and Rob Bottin used on The Howling, how to do changeo effects. There was just gobs and gobs of information in these 3 books, which I have the 3 books behind me because I was a Dick Smith student and I joined his course back in the 90s when I first got into makeup effects and became one of his students. So I got to know Dick Smith a little bit over the years and talked to him and saw him at shows and stuff. And he was just a very wonderful guy, wonderful person, very much would share as much knowledge as he could with you, depending on what you had or needed. He would try his best to always make you not just give you the answer, though. He would make you think, which I think is important. I think is important not to just always hand students the answer, but make them think a little bit, or better yet, make them try things. Dick Smith was very much a trial, learn by making mistakes type of person. And that was one of the biggest things I gained from him was just try it. I'd call him and ask him something if I was stuck or whatever. And he would always say, have you tried this? Have you tried this? Have you try these things and get back to me. Let me know your results. Write down your results. Take note of them and see where you can learn from it. Because that's how he learned, is by trying things. And that is the best way to learn. But he was also very giving, like I said, and all that. So the tribute tonight is to Dick Smith. Like I said, last Monday would have been his 100th birthday. Miss him very much. He was a really nice guy. I've had some phone calls with him over the years, and unfortunately, it would bug him around dinner time. He'd always say, "Well, I'm eating supper. Let me call you back." And then what he was doing is he would always go into his file. Yeah, he had a file on all his students, and he would look at your previous work you'd sent him, and then he'd hit you back and call you back. You'd get a phone call back from Dick Smith, and you'd be on the phone with him. Sometimes when the first few phone calls I had with him were kind of intimidating. So, but yeah. Anyway, I pulled out some books here because obviously I don't have any direct work of Dick's to share, or something in my studio physical to share, but I do have tons of books, and so I wanted to pull these out and just show some of the background. Now, some of the things he's most famous for is the makeup on Little Big Man, the old aging and stuff that he's done. Of course, Exorcist. Everyone knows The Exorcist, which he did all the makeup effects for on that film. He had the help of Rick Baker and a few others on that as well. Of course, Speak of the Devil, literally, Speak of the Devil. There's The Exorcist makeup. And he tried, anyone that knows Dick Smith's work, they researched The Exorcist and how the makeups were done. They know, he did all kinds of tests on the little girl to try to come up with something that looks evil and realistic. And of course, the first few makeups look pretty makeup-y and thick and different. And, and he realized that less is more, and he pulled back into just a bunch of scars and specific placements of scars and some contact lenses. There's a puffy lip and just some things to slightly enhance her look. I think her eyebrows and on the bridge of her nose. Where he was able to achieve something quite effective. Versus like his initial thinking is like we all think when we hear, okay, we need a demonic girl. Okay, let me do this really crazy whole face transformation, and it's really. He just ended up going away from that and pulling back to something more simplified that worked, and sometimes that's best. So, here's some nice shots of Dick Smith doing some makeups and stuff. He had worked on TV show makeups for many, many years. Amadeus, his Lincoln makeup. So I mean, worked on The Hunger. One of my favorite horror things that Dick Smith did was Ghost Story, the film Ghost Story, and this is one of the makeups from Ghost Story right there.
Did he also do the makeup for Marlon? Oh, Marlon Brando's Godfather?
I believe so, yeah.
I thought that was Marlon Brando for a second. Oh.
Yeah, well, it was a mummy. So, yeah, I mean, you can see here's some early days where he's working on TV shows and plays and things like that. You know, it talks about all the years, 1945, 46, 47, 48, 49. So this is a Cinefex magazine that you could probably still pick up on eBay. June 1995 was a 62. They have this tribute to Dick Smith in here. And of course, here is, you know, a little thing from Kevin Yeager. That's another student, you know. This is all. There's a whole bunch of congratulations in here to Dick Smith on his achievements. He achieved many, many achievements. Here's a shot of young Rick Baker with Dick Smith. I think this was his first visit to Dick, I believe. So yeah, man, just really, really cool. And to have this is a nice memory. I love this Quasimodo makeup. So cool. Dick Smith also put out a do-it-yourself makeup handbook, which was, you know, a handbook for kids or younger kids and younger guys to learn specific, simple makeup techniques and how to get into makeup and makeup effects. Of course, he did. This is kind of a dark shot, but he did Dorian Gray, this amazing, well-known Dorian Gray makeup that everyone knows, which I believe was just a TV show. Is that Ming the Merciless? Looks like it.
I recognize that mustache.
Yeah. This, you know, he also worked on, this is like a Mr. Hyde that he did, which was awesome. And again, some more congratulations to Dick Smith, Jack Lemmon, Venia, William Hurt, all the people. You know, he worked on William Hurt for, what was it? Oh my God, I'm blanking right now. He did The Hunger. That wasn't the William Hurt one. The Hunger was a great one, but then yeah, there you go. Yeah, the Brando makeup. And then the famous Exorcist, which this was just a stipple, you know, a latex stipple. But yeah, I mean, you know, here's the William Hurt piece that he did. Well, he did a whole body, almost like a whole bodysuit transformation on him. And I think he had help from Carl Fullerton. Yeah, Carl Fullerton helped him out on that. And what was this for again? I'm totally blank. Why am I blanking? I love this movie. It's ridiculous. Of course, it's not saying. Altered States. Oh my God. Yeah, Altered States. I'm sorry. So that was the film with William Hurt.
I legit just looked in the chat. And yeah.
Yeah, they're all typing Altered States, and I'm sitting here like guessing like an idiot. But yeah, no, I mean, so this is just, you know, one book that I pulled out that has Dick's work in it, and then of course this amazing Behind the Mask book, which has a bunch of amazing effects artists in it. But you know, in the very beginning, again, here we have some work from Dick Smith and Rick Baker, stuff like that. But here's the Dick Smith chapter. Of course, we see the Exorcist again. I believe that's the fake body dummy that turns its head 360. And why I feel like I'm grabbing two pages. I guess I'm got one there. So here's also some makeups on Dustin Hoffman, you know. Old age. Yeah, so anyway, just sharing. And by the way, here's the tests of the Reagan, you know, that he didn't feel worked after he did them, or vice versa, maybe the production as well. But he, you know, he clearly went from like this thinking to do this evil demon full face thing, you know, prosthetic, and then went all the way back to just simplifying it down to just some simple prosthetics, which you can kind of all see here on the face of Reagan's live cast here. And right here in this photo, this is a great photo because he's testing the help me effect. I think it says help me or whatever the effect with a brush, and I forget what he's using, if it's acetone to raise the surface, so it wherever he draws on it, it raises, it affects the foam latex, and it raises like in a fashion of looks like something's right, written on her stomach. Amazing stuff. I mean, just the guy was a genius, man. Here he is testing a stunt actor that's playing Reagan, that because she couldn't wear this whole harness to do the pea soup throwing up stuff. Yeah, and so then this book is crazy because it goes into Rick Baker and Rob Bottin, and here we go back to more, altered states, all the arm transformation with all the bladders. Of course, Dick Smith used a bunch of bladders to do. Here's some altered state maquettes by Dick Smith. This book jumps around. There's some Rick Baker again, Rob Bottin. Here's Dick Smith again painting the suit for William Hurt for Altered States. So yeah, it's this book is a must-have as well. Make you guys spend all your money on books. Yeah, Rob Bottin. You can see all the amazing stuff in here. If you don't have this book, you should try and get it. But just a little tribute to Dick Smith and a thank you to him for all his influence, and not just influence, but all his sharing of knowledge over the years, which is why I share the knowledge I have with you guys and what I do, because that is what Dick Smith did, and I think it's the right thing to do, and I enjoy it, and I think he enjoyed it as well. He enjoyed seeing all his students, if you will call them that. I don't think he referred to them that way, but if you want to call them that, I think he referred to them all as friends, but he shared all of his knowledge with them over the years. Guys like I mentioned, Rick Baker, Stan Winston, Jeff Yeager, everybody, all the big names, Steve Johnson. Dick Smith used to come out here from his New York, and he would come out here and he'd go around and visit all his shops and all the friends, and I was working in a few shops when he came to visit as well, and it was great to see him always, and I definitely miss him. He was a one-of-a-kind for sure, and so happy birthday to Dick Smith. 100 years was last Monday. Wish he was still here with us to celebrate. There was some great ceremonies and things that his friends had thrown last week. They did like a whole Altered States film. I think some of the guys got together, the effects guys, and watched that and talked about his career and keeping him with us and alive, and the memories and stuff. So here's to Dick Smith, and thank you for everything you did for me and for everyone, because without you, makeup effects and all this would not be nearly what it was without you. So
Like
huge
30
influence.
or 4 years in the past or something like that, huh?
Yeah. Huge influence. So massive influence.
Mm.
So thank you, Dick. Appreciate all you did. It was amazing. All right, so we'll move on to questions from you guys. If you have any questions pondering in your heads on the painting I'm doing or whatever, anything you want to talk about, questions about previous streams, this stream, what I'm doing now, whatever. So we'll do those now.
Yeah, we actually do have a couple questions right now. Let everybody know. Sound off if you've got any questions. So our first question actually comes to us today from Alice Wright. And Alice asks, what would you say is the best way of designing strong skin patterns when the head that you're working with is round and or devoid of key shapes and markers? So it's just like perfectly smooth, perfectly round. What would you do to establish a really unique skin pattern on that? That's what they're asking.
Well, I mean, the way I approach skin patterns is it depends on what it is. Number one, is it something animalistic? Is it something alien? Is it something horrific? Whatever. But my approach is generally the same. The only reason I say alien is sometimes you might do something with skin patterns where it's pretty symmetrical from left to right. and has a sort of designy skin effect for that creature, you know. But generally speaking, when I'm doing some like mutant or some sort of, you know, mutant skin or something where skin is all some different pale tones and there's some blotchiness or something like that in there. You know, the best thing I do is take, if you're just getting into it and you're kind of worried about ruining it or something like that and you're not sure where to go, the best thing you can do is take the color that you're going to use and take a little bit aside and thin the living daylights out of it, make it very, very thin with water and alcohol, and lay the pattern down very lightly, you know? So basically taking a very subtle light approach with, so you just barely see the pattern and establish what you want. Also, what happens is if you make a mistake, it's easier to fix because you haven't sprayed this bright red or whatever the color is, you know, a freckly color or skin color, whatever the color is going to be. If you haven't gone and sprayed that on aggressively, making it harder to fix. So you have more room for error, if you follow what I'm saying. Let's say it's chimp skin, like ape, and all splotchy, or bulldog, like an English bulldog, and they have all those splotchy markings on their face. Same thing. Just start lightly first and work up to the darkness that you want. And once you have the pattern laid in that you like and you like what you see, then you know you can go for the darker and push it a little bit to what it needs to be. And if you do make a mistake, like I said, it's easier to fix it if it's not heavily sprayed on or opaquely sprayed on and it's very translucently put on, so you just barely see the pattern. And you can, and the nice thing is it helps you sort of design. Be loose too. If it's something randomish like ape skin or something where it needs to look organic and it's not the same left to right, be loose with it. Don't force it. Try to be loose and just try not to care too much. And I mean, and I say that not care is, I mean, don't try to be too designy with it and be more natural. Make your shapes different shapes, make them splotchier and break it up. And yeah, so there you go. That's kind of the approach I would take.
All right, our next question comes from John Eubank. John was wondering, what was the trigger cleaner / lube that you mentioned earlier in the episode? I think it's for your air compressor, your airbrush.
Yeah, I think he means for trigger sticking stuff, which my trigger is kind of sticking. I gotta clean it. There is some bike chain cleaner stuff that I've been using that helps get rid of the trigger sticking. This, which I think it's doing it now. So it kind of stick and stay on and like that, and you hear the air coming through. So down in underneath here, under the bottom where you connect your hose, there's a valve that you can undo and a piston that gets dirty and it has to be cleaned out. And then so what I use is one step. You want to grab it. It's right there. See that blue can up on top of that tool? Yeah, above those skateboard wheels. Yeah. So this is for bike chains, and it's a cleaner / lube, lubrication. And now I don't spray this all over the airbrush or anything. Don't. I don't want to give anybody the wrong information here. And what I do is I put a little bit of this into a small cup like this. I just put a little bit in the bottom. I spray it. And what I do is I take the piston, and there's a spring and a piston rod that when you push this trigger down, you're pushing the piston, and down in there is where it can get dirty and clogged up. So you have to clean it out. You can take a Q-tip and clean it out, but you have to have a little tool or a pair of tweezers to undo it. It's under here. When you take this hose off, you'll see 2 holes. You need some tweezers to unscrew that, and be careful you don't lose the spring in there, because there's a spring that'll pop out. So do it over your desk. And there's a spring and a rod, a little piston rod. with a little washer. And so I clean that all off with this lube and clean out the gun and everything, and then put it back together. Where you don't want to put oil or anything is up in the gun anywhere here. This piece that pushes down or any there. You don't want any oil or anything there, but you can have a little bit down there, and that stops the trigger from sticking like that, because it's like a sticky trigger. And that's it. That's what I use. You can probably find any, bike chain cleaner, whatever stuff that will do the job. But this is what I just had this on hand, so I tried it. Because I've been trying all kinds of things to stop trigger sticking, and nothing was working. Because the trigger sticking would come back and come back. That helped me. But I had to really clean the gun out thoroughly first. And then just lightly oil that after I cleaned it. And put it all back together, and voila, off to the races.
All right. So our next question actually comes from Mad Makes. Mad Makes has to run really quick, so I wanted to ask this before they have to go.
Okay.
What are a couple items on your work table that you use for sculpting or painting that you wish you had when you started or couldn't live without today? That's a really... Whoa.
Are you trying to stump me, man? What I couldn't live without today that I didn't have when I started. This mug.
True.
No, I don't. That's a tricky one. I'm trying to think like what I have that's like so specifically like that I didn't have before, and I'm not seeing anything. Well, okay, it's easier for sculpting. Painting, I've had the same stuff I always have, the paints and stuff. I mean, okay, obviously, hold on, let me back up. For painting, I mean, this stuff has become a must-have, this air cast thinner. So this is great because it thins any thick paint and makes it airbrushable. So this stuff is amazing. So you could take the likes of hobby paints from a craft store, those real cheap dollar craft paints, and you could add this to them a little bit and then make it airbrushable, which those paints are almost nearly impossible to airbrush. So this stuff is really amazing. And they make another one I've been showing on the stream called Lamian Medium. That's another good one for blending. Those I couldn't live without anymore. And these washes are something I use all the time. These shades. So these are great. These Citadel shades. And I didn't have these when I first started. So those are key. The other thing with sculpting would be just some tools. I have some sculpting tools, custom made ones that I've made myself or other people have made for me, and like I every time I sit down and sculpt something, I'm using those tools. So I couldn't live without those tools. There are a few that I don't ever want to lose. So they're like they mean the world to me. So yeah, if I lost them, I don't know what the hell I'd do. I'd freak out. I'd be like, ah. Yeah, but that's about it. I can't think of anything else offhand. That's a real tough question. You definitely stumped me a little bit on that, but that'd be it. These, my hands, can't live without those. I had those when I started though, so, but I still need them. They're important.
Our next question comes from Sean Meyer. Sean Meyer is the fellow who was asking us a couple weeks ago about advice on breaking into the industry.
Okay. Awesome.
Sean asks, "Hey Casey, is Todd Debreceni? I think it's Debreceni. Todd Debrecheni's Special Makeup Effects for Stage and Screen book a good primer to learn makeup effects?" Chris Dawson in the chat actually sounded off. They said that book is actually really good. I've never heard of it.
Do I have that book? What's the book called?
Todd Debrecheni's Special Makeup Effects for Stage and Screen. Oh, for Stage and Screen.
I might have the book. I don't know where it is offhand.
I would think any like.
Well, some are good and some are not as good, and it's just depends. And it depends on what you're looking for, like straight makeup stuff, monster makeup stuff. There's all kinds of different areas of makeup effects, especially special makeup effects. There's so many things. I mean, mask making is part of that, is in a funny way, and that again, it's like it's just a different technique. And then there's makeup effects. There's beauty makeup. There's correction makeup. There's which television and TV makeup. There's theatrical makeup. There's so many different things. So you kind of want to get a book that focuses on what you're interested in. I don't know the book offhand, so I can't really say yes or no. I can't imagine it would be terrible. I mean, or anything like that. I mean, most books I've picked up or seen on the subject are pretty good. I have one old one here that this is a standard makeup effects book that's pretty good. That's a classic. Everybody knows three-dimensional makeup techniques. And this is by Lee Bagan. And it shows mold making and all kinds of simple, basic makeup effects tricks. So, but there's others. There's others that people swear by that are good. I've even got magazines that cover the subject. So, I mean, there's many. I would say get it. I mean, here's the thing: is every book on the subject isn't going to have everything. So, the more books you have on that subject, the better. Because you're going to learn something from each one of them. So I would definitely probably say go ahead and get it, because and get other ones as well, because you're going to learn from them for sure. So and there was a magazine I had. I'll have to find the magazine. I forget where it is right now off the top of my head, but I had a good magazine too that I think it was a magazine, or maybe it was a book. But anyway, a buddy recommended. It's an old one, and it was really good. So there's that too. But yeah, get it, man. I mean, you'll learn something from it, and that it'll be valuable, and you'll look back on it and find more stuff out of it too. Like I always find that these books, I go back and look at them and realize that I kind of overskipped something or just overlooked something, and then like I'll read and reread and check it out. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't catch that the 30th time around. So yeah, definitely worth it.
I'm being schooled on my pronunciation right now. It's Debrasini.
Debrasini. Yeah, that's all right. I'm trying to think where that one book is that I had too. I can find it here. But anyway, we can move on. We got any more questions?
Sure. Yeah. No, we got a couple more coming in right now.
Cool.
Our next one comes from Chase Styles. Chase asks, little off topic, but have you ever sealed a latex mask based in packs with rubber cement?
Based in packs with rubber cement. So sealing it with rubber cement.
Yeah.
That, my friend, would be a negative. I have not. Thought I could find this book real quick. Now I'm curious where I put it. No. Everyone's seeing my back of my bald nugget. Sorry. No, I have not sealed packs, painted masks with rubber cement. Are you asking me that, Chase, because your masks are sticky? I'm just messing with you. I know your masks are a little sticky because I felt them at the show. No. Chase actually is a new mask maker. Well, fairly new mask maker. I guess I can say that. I saw him at Monster Palooza. He makes some really amazing masks. And he's got some really beautiful paint jobs. Very layered. Very beautiful. But Chase, no, I don't know. But I'm going to tell you what I just spoke about earlier when I talked about the tribute to Dick Smith and what he told me. Try it. Take a piece of latex, do some PAX layer paints, put the rubber cement on top, and see what happens. Because you may discover something new. You may discover it doesn't work. You may discover a lot of things. If that doesn't work, try E6000. If E6000 doesn't work, and you can thin E6000 with naphtha, if that doesn't work, try something else. A buddy of mine recently told me about using clear Gorilla Glue as a sealer, and it works amazing. So try things, try things, try things, try things. And I know you're looking for something flexible, is what I'm gathering. So try out some different things. I would just get a sample of latex, yay big. You can just brush up something on a table, make a patch of latex, whatever you want, or brush something out of a mold, whatever you want, and then do tests, because that is the best way to find out if it's going to work or not. I've never tried it though. So when I do packs painting, I seal with varnishes. So I seal with these. But of course, my masks that I'm doing are not masks that people are putting on and off their head. They are displaying them for display purposes. So they don't need to be, they need to be flexible, but they don't need to be super, super flexible. So varnishes work great because they have a little bit of flex to them. And that's about all I got for you on that one.
All right, our next
I don't know.
question. Our next question comes from My Mental Factory. That's
Uh-oh.
their name. What is a cheaper alternative to painting a base coat on a latex mask? Prozaid is quite pricey.
Yes. Okay, here's the magic sauce for that. I could just give it the formula to you off the top of my head. If Prozaid is just too damn expensive, because it is expensive to buy just a simple bottle, and Prozaid has always been going up in price. It's not cheap. So simple solution. However, there are some things you can and cannot do that you can do with Prozaid, but we're not going to talk about that right now because it doesn't matter. What you want to do is base coat your mask, and that's as simple as it gets. And you want something flexible. So the easiest, cheapest route is to go to Walmart. You don't even have to go to Home Depot or wherever. Go to a cheap place like Walmart or something like that. Get yourself a gallon of house paint in the color that you want. If you don't need a gallon, get a smaller amount, like a pint or a quart, something like that. So let's say you need flesh tone or something. Go there, pick out a color you like that's fleshy or whatever. Let's say you're doing lime green shock monster masks. Get a lime green. Pick out the color, have them mix up a house paint for you, because house paint has some latex in it. Then you're going to come home. You're going to get a 3 size equal cups, okay? Clear cups that are all equal size. You can just get cheap cups from the grocery store. You're going to put 1 cup of house paint that you bought at your hardware store. You're going to take a cup of latex out of your latex bucket, and then you're going to take about 1 full cup of water. You can go a little less, about 75% full. But you can go all the way, one if you want. You can go all the way full too. You're going to mix all 3 of those into a bigger container and shake it up. And that is going to be your base coat, cheap base coat for your masks. And you can spray that right on your mask, base coat them, let them dry, and your mask will be super flexible, super rubbery, and you're done. And then from there, you can do rub out washes. You can do with alcohol. You can do rub out washes or anything you want, because that will bond to your latex like crazy. And that's it. That's as simple as it gets. So 1 part house paint, 1 part straight latex, mask making latex, casting latex, and 1 part. So use the same latex you're casting your mask with. Just want to be clear about that. And 1 part water, 1 part house paint, 1 part latex, 1 part water. Mix them together. Boom. And you're off to the races. So spray that on your mask. Let it dry. Do the rest of your paint job.
All right. Our next question comes from Neil Leffler. Neil asks, any tips for painting on face paint onto a character sculpt?
Sorry, face paint?
Yeah. Like clown face paint or mud on Arnold in Predator.
Tips on that?
Yeah.
Well, face painting is not something I'm a professional at or have done much of. I don't know the ins and outs of face painting, like clowns and all that kind of stuff. So
I should reiterate, they're asking how you can paint it onto a character sculpt, not an actual person.
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
okay, so you want to
It's almost like a top layer
right,
or
like
something.
even a mask. Like let's say you have a zombie mask, but you want to do a clown makeup on it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, shit, that's easy. I mean, just look at, let's just start with the clown, for instance. Let's say I had a zombie mask and I wanted to, hand me that zombie mask right there, by the way. Give that. Can you grab that one right at the first one? Yeah, let's grab that. You bring that over. I'm just going to use it as an example. So here's a latex mask I just pulled. So let's say, turned out thick, man. Customer's going to be happy. So let's say this was all painted, rotten zombie, but then I was like, oh, let me paint it like it was a clown at one point. Well, then I could just, put the red on the nose and then maybe dingy it up a bit to make it look aged, with some washes, and paint the clown makeup on where it would have been, and then again, age it down with washes. Maybe some of the paint is rubbed off because he's a zombie. So, you want to think about realism here. Like, where would the paint have rubbed off? Obviously, here it's going to be missing. Maybe there's little bits of it here, if you had like white or whatever the shapes were, blue brows and white or whatever, however clowns paint. So I would just look at clowns or look at that stuff and then imitate that on there. Now you could do a brush. You could do it with a brush. You could do it with, I mean, obviously I would do it with probably the same technique that the clown would have used, like, the guy would have used. So like a brush and stuff like that. I mean, you could go as far as to just get real makeups to do it with, but I wouldn't do that. I would just paint it with acrylics and imitate that. That's the best thing. Or paint it with packs, acrylics with packs in it, or something like that. So that's the best thing. Now, here's another trick with packs. Let's say you painted it on with acrylics and you're worried about the flexibility because of cracking. You can then brush a layer of Prozade over top to seal it in, and then it'll be bond in. It'll be sticky, but you can get non-tack Prozade, which doesn't stick, but you could do it and then you could seal it with your sealer, and so then you'll be done. But anyway, that's how I would do something like that. Like just basically paint the clown makeup and then give it some aging and stuff, and make the make maybe even the makeup's running in his face, the white is running or whatever. So kind of do it like that. You can even use sponges to sponge on the white, like, where the clown makeup would have been, and then run it, through the skin and stuff. Kind of like how they did the Joker and the Keaton Batman, or the makeup runs. So you could do stuff like that. That's easy. And the mud Arnold thing, I mean, geez, man. I just get real mud and slap it on. No, I don't know. I mean, there's probably some mud effects stuff you can buy, makeup mud effects and stuff like that you could use. But, I mean, nothing works better than the real thing. I mean, when we've gone to set and put mud on things, we've put real mud on them and let it dry or whatever, or unless it's wet. So, yeah. So that mud is the best thing to use for mud. But if you're doing it for a mask that a collector is going to buy, obviously, you don't put real mud on it. So you would have to mix up some colors, some acrylic colors that are like mud tones, and spatter them on and sponge them on and apply them in a way that looks like mud on the face. I'm sure that's what you're asking, is like, how do I make it look like that and use paint? So that's the way. And maybe you give it a little, depending on if it's a wet or whatever, if it's cracking, you might be able to find a way to make it look like it's dried mud where it's cracking through. Just got to try some stuff out, and there's a way to do it for sure. So
all good advice if you're trying to paint a Pennywise mask, I think, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Our next question comes from Ben Hernandez. Ben asks, Casey, do you ever use the cheaper acrylic paints like folk art? And if so, do you thin them out with water and alcohol like you've been doing with the thinner acrylic inks?
No. I do. I just spoke about that actually just 2 seconds ago or so. I do use some of the cheap paints, but I don't use folk art. I use Delta Ceram coats. You can buy some various colors at Target. Target carries them, but they only carry very select colors. If you go to a bigger craft store, you'll find hundreds of Delta Ceram coats. Delta's really the only one I use. I don't use folk art or any of the other brands. They're the same price, like $1 or something a piece. and I mostly use them for dry brushing or base coating and stuff like that. But when you want to airbrush them, they're virtually impossible to airbrush, except when I announced this here, which is this camera like aimed at my crotch?
Oh, yeah, you had this on your last time. Sorry.
We need to move that camera, dude. It's like aimed right down it. Yeah, guys, sorry. So this Citadel stuff is great for thinning Delta Ceram coats, and that stuff is the best because that will allow you to thin it and airbrush it, and without problems where the paint gets weird and coagulated. You can't do water and alcohol with those paints. It doesn't work. So this and what happens is by the time you get those paints thin enough to do the alcohol, it's lost all of its body because they're cheap paints. So you need something that will thin it safely without causing problems with the paint. So this stuff is amazing. But this stuff is expensive. This is like $8 for a little bottle. So it doesn't go, if you're thinning all the time, this bottle's, you're going to go through this quickly. So that's the only downfall to it. But that's it. That's how you would thin it. All right. Is that our last question?
We got a couple more.
Okay,
actually.
let's do it.
Ben Hernandez. Our next question comes from My Mental Factory one more time.
Okay.
His next question, or their next question is MaskFest in India or in Indy on for this year? The website doesn't say anything about cancellations or dates.
Well, that's a good question. I don't know if MaskFest is on or off. I know it's been off for quite a while. I think the last thing I heard about MaskFest was they were trying to do its own show, maybe in Chicago or something, but that's not happening from what I heard. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I heard. That's no longer happening, and they are going back to Indy with Horror Hound to do the show, tagged along with the Horror Hound show. That's what I heard. So I don't take that as final word or anything. I don't know. Eric Austin would know best. He runs the MaskFest show. I don't know. All I know is I believe there's a show happening next year in Indy. But check with Eric, check with the site. I mean, there should be a contact there. You could email and check with them and see. Also, I believe in Horror Hound magazine they will run advertisements letting people know what's up, when the show's happening, and what's MaskFest is there. So yeah, I would just check into it. I haven't heard anything. But I'm not really doing that show right now. I mean, I don't have any plans to do that show, so I wouldn't know if it's on or off. There's a possibility of me going back to that show though down the road, maybe. I mean, I might go back. We'll see. We'll have to see. I loved it. It was a great show. Great people, run by great people. Awesome event. If you're a mask collector or a mask maker, it's definitely a show to go to. Because it's all latex at that mask fest. It's just all latex masks, so it's amazing for that. The only shows I have planned to do officially now coming up, which I was not doing shows. I was taking a break. I took about a 5-year break. The next show I'm doing would be the next Monsterpalooza big show, which will be Pasadena next year. I have talked to the owner of the show and discussed coming back, and so far so good. So we'll see how that goes. And that's the only plans I have right now for shows, and then maybe MaskFest. We'll see.
All right. And aside from that, we've only just got a few updates on different projects that some of the viewers are doing right now.
Oh, cool.
So catch up on those.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to mess around with these while we talk about that.
Sure. Yeah, so Neo Kazama mentions that they finished with the Norris Spiderhead that they've been working on for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And they're now working on 2 custom Predator busts. They're just getting started on that.
The Norris head looked great. Thank you for sharing those on the Monday Night Monster Jam Facebook page. Yeah, they looked really good. Or looked really good, I thought. And I mean, pictures are tricky because one thing about pictures, when we take it with our phones, sometimes things get lost in photos. You know, reds will get cut out or blues or whatever there to get cut out. So
Always reds.
yeah,
Always
reds for sure.
Oh,
And
what a pain.
and you know they get a little flattened out or a little overlit, so it's hard to tell. You know, in person, I'm sure that's what I'm saying is in person. I bet they look even better because I'm fully aware that can be a problem. You know, so but yeah, look great. Thank you for sharing again with everybody.
Yep. And aside from Neo Kazama, Kirk Durfee mentioned that they're actually working at their computer right now while they're watching the stream.
Awesome.
They didn't mention what they're working on though, so I'm not sure if it's a secret or not. Kirk, if you're still there, what are you working on?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know. Cool.
And then Kevin Young mentioned that they're working on a Frankenstein's monster based off of a David Hartman illustration.
Oh, very cool. I know David Hartman's stuff. Yeah, that's awesome. He does some great stuff. Cool.
And then Jason,
is that a mask?
I think it is a mask.
Okay.
It from the way Kevin mentioned it in the chat, it sounded like it was a mask. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
And then Jason Giaconetti mentioned that they're working on 2 Rodin busts right now.
All right.
I think it's the Godzilla Rodin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, sounds like it. Very cool. That's awesome.
And that's what we got for updates for this week.
All right, awesome. Super cool, guys. Thanks for sharing what you're doing. It's cool to hear what everyone's up to. Hopefully everyone is going to have a very safe 4th of July. Don't do anything crazy.
Don't drink and drive. Please
don't drink and drive. That's number 1. Don't blow your hands off or do anything stupid with fireworks. Don't drink and play with fireworks. That's another one. Yeah, hopefully everyone has a real safe 4th. Just as a reminder, we won't be going live Monday, so I don't want anyone waiting in the stream for it to start. Because we won't be there Monday with the holiday. We're going to take that Monday off, and then we'll resume on Monday the 11th.
You know what you're doing on Monday, Casey?
Sculpting.
Sculpting?
Yeah,
Really?
I don't know what, but sculpting. Sculpting something. Yeah, painting. I can only do so much painting, and then I need to do some sculpting. So, just so you guys know, keep in mind when I do these streams on Mondays, if I'm painting, I don't have anything against painting, but I do get tired of it because I paint all day for 8 hours for my job, and then an hour and a half later we go live and I'm painting again. So you could probably imagine I get a little burnt out. So if I don't seem enthusiastic about painting all the time, it's because I need a break.
Already done 8 hours of it.
Yeah. So
it's kind of like me. Like when I'm at work, I'm either filming or editing.
Yeah.
And the thing I love doing is live streaming. So
and then when you come here, it's a little different for you. Yeah, that's so
it's
cool.
Setup, breakdown, live stream. It's like, I love doing that. The active part of it.
Yeah, I'm glad that that's working out because I would hate for you to be like coming here and you're burnt out. You know, like more of this. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. I love filming and I love editing, but yeah, 8 hours of it is just woo. By the end of it, I'm like, man.
Yeah.
Something else.
Totally, man. So what I'm doing here is I'm just base coating some teeth, by the way, while we're chit-chatting. Throwing down some tooth color on the teeth for the bat. I'm mostly focusing on the bat because it's the one that I felt needed the most work. The werewolf I'm fairly happy with. I still got some stuff to do but on him, but not as nearly as much as I did on the bat.
Let us know in the chat too what you guys are doing for the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah. I'd love to hear what everyone's up to. I wonder
if you're barbecuing, what are you barbecuing?
Yeah.
I'm starving. Like, talk about food. I love food.
yeah. Food or barbecuing or fireworks, lighting off fireworks. Legal, illegal.
funny. My dad used to know a bunch of places where he could get like really on the slide fireworks and stuff like that. And I was like a 5-year-old, so he's sitting there lighting off literal grenades in front of me, and I'm like, "Is this what fireworks are like?"
You're like, Jesus. You're like, I can't hear, Dad, anymore. Is that how it's supposed to be? Well, when I lived for a brief time, well, not brief time, a good amount of time, about 7 years, I lived up in Washington State, and you could drive over into the Indian reservations. You weren't supposed to do this, but you could, and buy the most crazy fireworks, like the stuff that you see, at fireworks shows. You could just buy that stuff and just take it home and launch it in the air and just be like, I don't know, yeah, there you go. So we would do that. We would get these crazy fireworks, man, and just go to town for like several hours. Buy them at the Indian reservation, and it was nuts, man. Massive fireworks. I do miss that. It's kind of cool. But out in California, man, there's not that many places you can light fireworks safely and that's legal like that. So there's very few places. Everything's gonna burn up, man, out here. Gotta be careful. We already deal with fires yearly, so we don't need more. Remember those crazy? Were you here, Sam? You were here when we had those crazy fires by work.
God, I saw videos of
it. Takes me 10 minutes to get home. It took me 2 hours to go. What takes me normally 10 minutes to drive.
I lived down in Ventura at the time. It took me about 4 hours because we looped back into like West Lake Agora, thinking the fire wouldn't go that way.
And it did.
It started going that way, and it's like, okay, I guess we'll loop around the back roads.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, it's funny. I have footage of just everybody gathering out in the parking lots, just kind of laughing, like, haha, look at this, a fire. And then it just gets like closer and closer and bigger and bigger, and everybody's like, all right, we should probably leave.
Yeah, it was neat until it turned to a 50-foot wall behind the building.
Yep.
I remember like seeing this 50-foot wall flame or whatever just start roaring up behind the shipping building. It was like, it's time to go.
Yep.
But then, of course, you get in your car and you can't go anywhere because there was gridlock.
Yep.
Yeah. And I wonder if the city's even figured that out yet. Like, how would we deal with that again? Because that was bad. No way to get everybody out. The freeways were shut down. Crazy.
Crazy, too, because there's like 3 on-ramps around that area.
I know,
and
it that proves like right there how bad that is. Because if that ever happened again, can you imagine you're stuck in your car and like that whole fire just started engulfing everything around? Like, what would you do? Yeah, you're stuck. It's nuts. Anyway, oh man. So anyway, I hope you guys have a safe 4th. Be safe out there. Have fun. And we're going to catch you guys Monday the 11th for the next Monday Night Monster Jam. And that was the whole reason of doing it tonight, was to give you guys a little something so that we're not missing 2 Mondays in a row, because that would be
unthinkable.
Not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good. Not good on us.
Yeah, should we tell them why we had to miss this past Monday? I feel like we can kind of.
I told him. I think I announced scheduling conflicts.
So what scheduling conflicts means, everybody, is last weekend I took a small vacation over to Palm Springs out in California, and I learned very quickly that I need to put sugar in my body or else I start getting dehydrated. And I almost had a bout of heat stroke. It wasn't heat stroke. It was what's called, I guess, heat exhaustion. So learned that the hard way. And
Yeah.
then that Monday, I'm just recovering from that. I get into my car to come over here. Try to start my car, and oops, my battery is dead. And yeah, it's like a 6-year-old battery, so it's dead. So I had to call up
Yeah.
Casey and be like, "Oh, what do I do?" Because
Yeah.
it was like what 4:30 when I called you.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you were gonna have to be here in like 30 minutes or something. Like it wasn't gonna work. It wasn't gonna work out.
Yeah. So last weekend was insanity for me.
Yeah. It's just better to cancel that show and I was not only did you have that, but I had complete exhaustion from
Yeah, because you did the classes that
I
weekend.
did a class Saturday all day teaching. I was already tired from a busy week of work, and then I Sunday, last Sunday, I took my son on a road trip, small road trip, a couple hours drive, um, out to a place called Santiago Canyon. There was a festival, motorcycle festival called Born Free, and well, but we didn't go necessarily for that, but we were there because the Vans skate team had a vert ramp, and a buddy of mine who I've come to know over the years, Steve Caballero, who's one of the famous Pal Peralta skaters. Steve Caballero was skating, so I hit Steve up and was like, "Hey, I'd love to come bring my son to watch you guys skate." And so Steve's like, "Yeah, I'll be at this event, and it's kind of the closest one near you guys." So we went out there. We drove out there to this Born Free motor. There's some cool motorcycles, by the way, on display. Holy shit, there's some cool shit. And they had live bands and food and all this stuff. And it was hotter than hell out there. It was like 100 degrees or something out there. And anyway, we were there. We watched some skating, some awesome vert skating. Met up with Cab, chit chat a little bit. My son got to take a photo with him. My son loves Caballero. He looks up to him. It's like his favorite skater, which is awesome. It's one of my favorites from back in the day too. So it was cool to go out there, and then we drove all the way home. So I drove 4 hours on Sunday. I was already exhausted, but I wanted my son to have a good experience with that and see what it's like to see guys skating vert in person, because it's very different than watching it on film, on TV or film. So yeah, we had fun, and then of course when we came home, I rested for an hour or so, and then my son's like, "We got to go skate," so I had to go out and skate. Just being dad, hit the skate park, skate out a little bit, and then finally get home and relax. So my weekend was not really what I would say relaxing one. It was more of a busy one. Yeah, so I was dead tired by the time Monday hit. And then between the two of us, we just weren't going to make this show happen.
It would have, like, if we had done it, it would have been like so low energy.
Yeah, it would have been like,
I would have been over here at the computer just suffering.
Yeah, you would have been there doing that, and I would have been here just like yawning, this is all yeah, it would have been a mess. You would have just been watching two guys train wreck, basically. So it wouldn't have been good. Anyway, I think we did the right thing. And here we are, Friday night, jamming away. I'm just painting some teeth, base coating these teeth. Fun.
We got some folks chiming in on their plans for July 4th weekend right now.
Awesome. Anything?
My Mental Factory mentions advertising the haunted house / jail I work at in the parade. Mom's making homemade burgers on the grill, and we're going to watch an in-town fireworks show.
Nice.
Sounds like a good, hearty 4th of July weekend.
Sounds good, man.
Great.
Sounds good. Enjoy.
And then Spooky Threads. Welcome back, Spooky Threads, by the way. Spooky Threads says that they're taking the kids to a pool party.
Pool party.
Also sick.
There you go.
God, pools are so nice.
Can't beat it when it's all hot out. Sounds like fun.
Oh, and then my Masks and Horror Collectibles actually chimed in about the Steve Caballero. Um, the Steve Caballero is awesome. I had one of his boards when I was young. Lance Mountain too. I just dated myself with that confession. LOL.
It's all right. I'm old too. And Lance, I also knew Lance fairly well as well. I've been skated with him a few times. Been to his house. Skated his half pipe way back when in the backyard, and yeah, I knew him as well. He's he's cool, very cool. Both of those guys, Steve and Lance are pretty cool dudes. So Cab's just very down to earth dude, super cool. I met, it's interesting. I was at Monster Palooza on Friday night, and I met another older pro skater from the 80s, Jeff Kendall, who skated for Santa Cruz Skateboards and for many years. Amazing skater. Super cool dude, man. Again, super humble dude. And he's now, he has been for a while, I believe, the CEO of NHS Skateboards, which houses Santa Cruz and Creature and all that. Yeah, really cool dude, man. I talked to him for like a good half an hour. And yeah, it's a blast. I don't know if any of you old school skaters know the video that came out called Wheels of Fire, featuring Christian Assoy, not Jeff Grosso, sorry, Jeff. Jeff passed away too. Jeff Grosso was amazing. I used to live in the same town as Jeff Grosso. You could see his half pipe when I went to school. I'm getting off track here on my story, but when I would go to school, grade school, a buddy of mine, we'd pass by Grosso's house, and you could see his half pipe because he lived in Arcadia, California, near where I grew up. I went to school, grade school. And yeah, you could see his half pipe. And anyway, big whoop, right? No, but what I was saying is, Wheels of Fire, the video featured Nodis, Coppice, and Jeff Kendall and Rob Roskop and all these amazing old school skaters. I grew up digging all that skateboarding. So yeah, it was cool to meet that dude, meet Jeff Kendall, man, because I've never met him before, and there he was at Monster Palooza, just kind of taking it in and chit-chatting with a couple friends of mine, and you just never know who you're gonna run into, man. It's cool. And yeah, now he's the head honcho at NHS Skateboards, and which is, like I said, it houses Santa Cruz Skateboards and Creature and several other brands and things, OJ wheels and slime balls and all that. Pretty cool, man. I was stoked to meet him. I've been skating a lot with my son, going to the skate park almost every night. Thought working out was sore, man. Holy crap.
Yeah, skateboarding messes you up.
Big time, dude.
Kirk Durfee actually has a comment over here. Did you know Dan Platt from skateboarding?
Dan Platt?
Yeah.
He was a skater?
I think so. It sounds like from
Does
Kirk's
he mean
question.
does he mean Dan Platt the sculptor?
I think so, yeah.
Whoa. No, I didn't. I know Dan Platt is a sculptor. In fact, the first movie I worked on, The Cave, that's where I first worked with Dan. But I was aware of Dan Platt long before that from the model kit industry. And funny enough, Dan Platt is like a bodybuilder now. Dude, he's in his 50s and he's like totally ripped. He's so shredded, it's not even funny.
I would hope to be like that.
The dude is just full blown become, like, he looks like he's in his 20s, and you know, his body, and he's just like totally jacked. Not huge jacked, but like shredded jacked, you know? Like it's amazing. It's his transformation is incredible, man. It just proves what years of, you know, training can do.
Focus, determination.
Yeah. I'm trying to get there, man. By the time I'm 50, I'm trying. We'll see. It is harder than you would think. It's not easy.
Kirk says, "Yep, same person."
Yeah.
Sculptor is also a skateboarder.
Wow, I didn't know he was a skater. That's so funny because I never talked to him about it. Holy moly, that's weird. Now I'm tripping. I'm like, whoa. Didn't know that. Wow. He's a great sculptor. Now he's a great bodybuilder. The guy's like so shredded. It's ridiculous. You should see. If you haven't seen lately or whatever, he would post some videos on Facebook of his progress. It was like, oh my God, definitely inspiring. Did you know this? And this is going to blow your mind. He used to be an owner of Sideshow.
Really?
Yes. Early days. I mean, super early. He was partnered with Greg and Matt Falls. Yeah. Yeah. They were all partnered up. I have one of his sculpts that you could potentially say this was almost the beginning of Sideshow or whatever. You know, like before all the toys and all that. Like when they were doing model kits. They weren't really doing.
Is it the Frankenstein one?
Yeah, he did. He sculpted that.
He did.
He did the bust,
that's
and he
crazy.
did the one that's on display, the full figure coming out of the vat.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's Dan Platt.
That's nuts.
Yeah, yeah. So, yep. Talk about old days, man. Yeah, he's a great sculptor, man. I worked with him on the Cave, and yeah, cool, pretty cool. I didn't know he was a skater though. That I wish I would have known that then. I could have chatted it up with him more.
That does make some sense though. G being a cyclist and being the skateboarder part of it.
Yeah, I
Tom
don't
being
know.
Really into cars.
Yeah, right. I don't know, man. Okay, so as I'm goofing around here, I just base coated all these teeth and just messing with getting those right. What time are we at now? Okay.
About like 8:05.
So we're gonna go a little longer with tonight's stream, guys, just to make up for missing last Monday and you know, having to miss this Monday coming up. So we're pushing this one a little longer. So stick with us. For those of you that are new to the stream, if any of you are new, please like and subscribe because that helps us big time with the stream. It immensely helps us. And if you know anyone that you think would like this stream and be into it, please let them know so we can get new subscribers. We're almost at our magic 1,000 subscriber number too. We're getting
So
close. Where are we at?
978 last I checked.
978. So we're getting up there. Getting up there. That's good. So we're getting real close. Oh boy, what am I doing? Okay, so now I've got the teeth base coated. Taking some flesh tone here. I think I'm gonna try a little dry brush of this color. Yeah, well, that's not gonna work if it's got paint in it. Gonna have to clean my brush out. Just some alcohol, trying to clean this brush. Also, we could stick these teeth in just to take a look. So, gives you a look at how things are looking. God, there's like some weird blue paint in my brush and it doesn't even want to come out with alcohol. That's weird. But it wants to come out when I put paint in it. heck is in there? That one doesn't want to play ball, then maybe another one will play ball. So I'm just messing with these two guys tonight, guys. I'm not like didn't have any really set plans other than just sort of working on these for you and finishing off, trying to finish them off a little bit.
And these are the same two that you painted for your class this past Saturday, right?
Yeah, excuse me. These are the two busts that I did for my class as demonstration. You know, the students followed along, so I thought, well, let me just take them on the live stream and do some little finishing technique. Plus, all the students that took that class can also see this and get a little more out of that. Add to the class. Those of you that didn't take the class, you don't know how I got here. No. If you take a class, one of my classes, this is a good, you can kind of see what it entails, what you get to do. So each student got 20 colors of paint and the two busts, the teeth and everything. And the students did really well. I mean, the students got as far as what I showed you guys, and keep in mind, it's just one day, 8 hours of painting with a little lunch break. We do like a small lunch break. But yeah, the students did pretty much as I did. Then I just told them how to finish them off and take them home. But now I decided, let me do a live stream and I can show some of that, and that'll be good. So let's see, what do I want to do next? That's the question. I don't like the bad eyes black because it's just so easy and typical and done to death. I feel like I just don't know how I want to paint them white. Thinking like a cream white. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll do a little, I know what we need to do. Let's do a little bit of modeling in the ears, and let's do some little sponging. Let me mix up, actually that's not going to work, so let me mix up a color here. Put some flesh and some white, a light flesh tone. Speaking of classes and all that stuff, for those of you interested, I do have a mailing list if you want to know what classes are coming. For those that want to take in-person classes at my studio, I do have my next class, which hasn't been announced yet, but I'm going to be announcing it. It's coming in October, mid-October. And yeah, you know where I'm going with it. And I'm going to show everyone a little sneak peek of what it'll probably be. Let me find the picture, and I'll show you guys. I'm going to do a latex mask painting class. So for those of you that want to learn how to paint latex masks, and this one will be how to keep them flexible and all that jazz. The class will come with a mask. It'll come with paints. Bear with me, I apologize. I'm going to find the picture here real soon. And we'll probably make up a different paint job. We won't do this paint job. But here's the mask. We can zoom in on this. So we'll be painting these in class. This creepy vampire alien critter half mask. It's like a 3/4 mask or whatever. So we'll be painting these a different paint job, maybe flesh tones and how to do all the creepy flesh. but yeah, so this is what we'll be doing in October. You can see how big the mask is. It fits a head. And if you want to learn how to paint this, this is from my class, the last time I did it. So if you're interested in taking a class on learning how to paint latex masks, that's the next one in October. We'll be doing that guy. And we'll be doing some kind of flesh tones or something like that. Yep. Monsters. All right. So that's a little sneak peek of what's coming up in October. I don't have a date yet, but I would, if I had to guess, looking at the calendar, I would say the 15th or 22nd, one of those weekends. I don't know which yet. So you guys can chime in if you're interested in the class. Let me know what you think is a better weekend, the 15th or the 22nd. I'd love to hear from everybody. Gives me an idea of what to go with. Because I never know. It's hard to tell what's good for people, man. You just have to pick a day and go with it. All right. Attempting to model some flesh in this ear, and it's fighting me. Here's a question for the audience. Is anybody sculpting masks right now? And if so, what mask are you sculpting? Or are you thinking about sculpting a new mask, and what is it? What's the monster you're gonna do? I want to know.
We've actually got a question here from Neo Kazama.
Awesome.
Neo asks, any chance you'll come and teach to the New York/New Jersey area sometime soon?
Wait, give me that question again. I'm sorry.
Any chance you'll come and teach in the New York/New Jersey area anytime soon?
I don't think so. I don't have any plans to do that. I did it once for a show. It was this guy. It was this bust thing that I showed you guys. I did a show called, what was that called? It was a model kit show, and I did a class on painting there. That was many years ago now, or well, a few years ago at least. It was a while back, out in New Jersey. But yeah, they brought me as a guest and all that, so they helped pay for everything and all that. So, but I don't have any plans. It's hard. It's hard for me to do that sort of thing because I have a full-time job that I have to be at my studio every day working. So it's tricky, very tricky for me to break away and find time to do that sort of thing. I have a 9-to-5 day job with Sideshow Collectibles, so I'm working every day. So very hard to break away to go out somewhere for like a weekend or whatever and do a class. I mean, not impossible, but tricky to schedule for sure. And that's why I don't really do those much at all. But, you know, never say never. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. Just depends. You know, someday, perhaps. God, what was the show I went out to do? I can't believe I'm blanking on that right now. Oh. Anybody chiming in knows the model kit show stuff? Not Wonderfest. It was a different show.
Jersey Fest.
Jersey Fest. Yes. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Duh. Yeah, Jersey Fest. I did that show.
Oh, Kevin Young as well. Jersey Fest.
Yeah. Jersey Fest. That's it. That's the one. God, my airbrush is not spraying like I want it to. Something must be something in there. Let me clear this out. Something in there. Let's do some spongy real quick. You guys watching probably remember this one that I showed you guys, hopefully. If you don't, I'm gonna new for you guys that are new, you'll see it. But this is a sea sponge, and I'm wetting it to kind of activate it. Makes it nice and soft and pliable. Well, it looks like I forgot to clean this one out, which is not good. That doesn't make for good sponging. Alright. Should be able to make it work. Then I just kind of take a paper towel and just soak it out. Get most of the moisture out of it, not all of it. And then I'll keep this handy here. And then what I'm going to do is, I don't have a plate on me, but let me do somehow here. We have, maybe over there, I might have, see those yellow ball thingies under there. Come on, grab one of those clear ones. Thank you. Awesome. Thanks, man. Sorry to... Alright, I'm going to put some white down. Jersey Fest. Jersey Fest. That's the one. That was the show.
Oh, you know what? In response to the earlier question you had about whether people are working on masks or not,
Yeah.
my mental factory actually is working on one right now.
Are they?
Yeah, they're saying that they're going to be working on their second ever attempt at making a character named Twister, whose face and features are in the middle or like in the process of swirling.
Oh, cool.
They say the first sculpt went well, but the mold and latex were bad.
The mold was bad?
And the latex, apparently.
Wonder what happened. That's not good. So I'm just mixing up like a sort of washy white, off-white color here. Now we're just gonna spongy, super thin white. Yeah, I wonder what happened with their mold. It sucks. Totally sucks. So they're attempting it again.
Yep, second attempt.
Second attempt. Well, that's good. Don't give up, man. You'll get it. I'm sure they'll correct whatever the problems were.
Oh, Chris Dawson is also chiming in right now.
Nice.
They're saying they're thinking about making an Ed Roth style boogity monster mask.
That's cool.
Inspired by Norman Cabrera's "I'm Your Boogeyman" video characters.
Cool.
They're debating on foam fabbing it or sculpting it.
Oh, okay. Right on. Nice.
Oh, and there's some follow-up from my mental factory about their first go at the twister.
Yeah.
Plaster of Paris crumbled and learned to use pottery plaster instead. Also, liquid latex from Spirit probably wasn't the best move.
No. Nor was the pottery plaster. That stuff is just the cheapest stuff ever. Definitely want to bump up. And you know what? Here's another note for them. If they find out that the what are they bumping up to from pottery plaster?
No, it's from plaster of Paris to pottery
plaster of Paris. Yeah, Jesus, that's garbage. That's not for molding masks. But pottery, number one, pottery plaster, although it's cheaper, it's really weak too, man. I mean, it absorbs like crazy, but it's weak. So they might find that they want to even switch to hydrocal. But they can, I mean, pottery plaster will work, but that's what a lot of places use. But yeah, I mean, if they want something even stronger, hydrocal, and even stronger than that, ultracal. But you'll be fine. They'll be fine switching over to that stuff. That'll be better than what. Yeah, anything's better than plaster of Paris. That's not even for mask making. That stuff is just garbage. It's like drywall. Turned to dust. So their mold probably just disintegrated to dust. And then they use some latex from Spirit, huh? Yeah. Wow. No, that's definitely. I can't imagine that being any good. Definitely want to buy some decent latex too. That's a good idea. Well, they're on the right track. They're going to get better results this time for sure. Good luck, guys, with that for sure. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Kind of off topic, but you mentioned the two different types of cals, like ultra cal.
Ultra cal 30.
Yeah. Yep. For some reason, the word that popped into my head is like if you want to go a step above ultra cal, you go to California.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really bad pun. I'm very sorry.
Silence now.
Yeah.
And silence. Let's see. I'm just gonna, for the heck of it, I'm gonna base coat these eyes white because that's think I'm gonna end up changing these eyes. The black thing is, it works, but it's not what I'm envisioning for some reason. Just brush coat them real quick. They're gonna take a few coats to do.
These are for the eyes you're working on?
Yeah, I mean, just gonna base coat them real quick. I'm thinking just white eyes with veins, and I'm gonna have to do a couple layers. I might even have to airbrush them, which means I'll get overspray everywhere, but whatever. I can fix it. Yeah, white eyes, veins, yeah, kind of yellow out the eyes a little.
Now, one quick question here from Chris Dawson. Looking at the MSDS for Ultra Cal 30, it looks like it's mostly Pastor of Paris with some white Portland cement. Has anyone experimented with making their own recipe? Shipping is ridiculous.
Yeah, shipping is expensive. No, I haven't, because like for me, luckily where I live, I can just drive to a bunch of stores and pick it up. So there's no need to ship it. But yeah, shipping's a nightmare. I'm gonna grab a color real quick.
Sure.
Shipping is a disaster for heavy bags of clay or plaster, man. That's definitely not fun.
I actually just ordered a bunch of computer parts recently because that's finally on the downswing, all those prices.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it's going to be about a month and a half before the first part reaches you. I'm like,
Jesus. Month and a half. Good Lord. So now I'm going to put a light wash on these teeth, like a nicotine stain. I'm going to have to dip into this. So this is just like a quick stain. And this is just to get some age on the tooth. It's not a final or anything. I'm going to have to mess with these teeth for a while to get them right. But I'll usually start with just staining them up and then work the highlights back in and back and forth over and over until they look right. This is the first step. They'll give you guys somewhat of a look closer to a finished version. Again, I wouldn't call this finished, but also I'm thinking I might cast up some translucent teeth and gums and try those out instead. I think it'll look better with the translucent teeth and gums versus these, which are opaque here. But I'm just painting them just to see, whatever. All right. Let me do the werewolf teeth too while we're at it. Stain them up. This is a pretty quick process. You just have to brush the stain stuff on. This is just the shades from Citadel. Seraphim Sepia shade.
chat right now having to bow out. Their wives are getting home.
Ha! And live stream off. And Monday Night Monster Jam over. Time to hope you cook dinner for your wife. You'll be in big trouble.
You better. Ugh.
You dead. You go.
Saturday mornings are the days where I cook breakfast for my girlfriend, and if I ever miss one, she lets me know that I missed it.
Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. You wake up, you're like, oh, I want to sleep in, and you got someone standing over you, pissed, like just pissed off. Uh-oh, I'm up. I'm up. Alrighty, almost done with this stainy stuff. And by done, I just mean the step. I'm not really done, but I wanted you guys to see a cooler look. Ah, come on, get in there. Get in there. Damn it. Stop giving me problems. Stupid thing. Let's try this.
These are the same dentures that you made a couple episodes back?
Yeah, I was working on these. If people kind of remember those episodes, I was just starting them or whatever. There we go. That's now. Of course, I wiped all the stain off with my fingers, but yeah, these are the teeth I started. Let's put these in. There's kind of a closer look, not 100% finished or anything, but that's a closer look at what we got. I'm just gonna hit this white one more time, and this will be our last step for the evening, because we gotta call it quits as well. There's my cue. My wife just got home.
Make your dinner?
No. No, I'm doing this. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're gonna call it done for now. We'll be back next Monday, not next Monday, not 4th of July. We'll be back Monday the 11th for the next live stream. So there's the Bat and Wolf for now. I mean, they're not done, but you know, they're getting closer and closer and closer. So I have a little bit more work to do on each one, just some finesse, some stuff, and then I'll seal them up with some matte finish, Krylon matte finish, and then I'll probably gloss up the eyes and teeth and gums with some gloss varnish. So anyway, but that's it for tonight. Want to thank all you guys who stuck around extra long and hung out with us, shared what you're working on, support the stream. We appreciate that. It's been awesome. It's been a great Friday night. Hopefully you guys have an awesome 4th of July, and be safe, and don't light any firecrackers or anything in your hand, or M80s. Be careful. And we will catch up with you guys again Monday the 11th. That's the next live stream. If you guys know anyone that would love to check out the show and join us, we'd appreciate it. We'd love to have them. Please like and subscribe as always. And what else am I missing, man?
I think that's it.
Is that it?
The Facebook group.
Yes. Sorry. Definitely make sure that you can catch us during the week on our Facebook group. So our Facebook group is Monday Night Monster Jam on Face Group. On Face Group. I just totally, that's me getting tired. Monday Night Monster Jam on Facebook. And you can join that club. That's like a little club or whatever you want to call it. A little group that we have there of people that's rapidly growing. And everybody shares their work. And if you're not on there, you can join. And we'll let you in. And it's a great place. So catch us there. You can catch me on my Instagram page, Casey Love Designs. You can catch me on my Facebook page, Casey Love, or my website, caseylovemonsters.com. The YouTube channel, obviously, Casey Love Monsters as well. So thank you guys for joining us. If what else? Anything else I'm missing, Sam? We're good. We're out. We're good. So that's it from us. Thank you again, guys. We appreciate you joining. Please like and subscribe as always. And we will catch you guys. And I'll post pictures of these guys when they're all finished so you can see. But we will catch you guys later. And again, have a great 4th of July weekend. Have a lot of fun. Be safe. See you soon. That's it.
Alrighty.